How many light guns can a person have in his lifetime? Never enough is the answer to that. This is the 4Gamers XK9 from a British company that makes gaming peripherals. The first thing you'll notice is that this gun is more sci-fi shaped than other light guns. In my opinion, it's shaped like a handgun from the Mass Effect series, and for that reason, that alone is a plus. There are your standard buttons on the side for in-game handling, but there are LED lit up buttons on the side in which you can switch options, which I will show later on. On the bottom, you will find the C button, most used for cover mechanics, and an on and off switch for switching the rumble feedback function. There's a D-pad here for particular games that frequently use it, like Dino Survivor. And on the other side, that same LED button functionality for switching into guncon and into normal mode. The front of the gun looks a bit cheap, but I promise you won't be looking at it that much when using it. At the end of the cable, you will find the PlayStation controller plug, the USB insert for the PS2, and the video input cable. For the PlayStation 1, you just insert the controller plug into the console, and the video plug, in my case, into the composite breakout from your SCART cable. For the PS2, you do the same steps, but insert that USB cable in the USB input port below the controller port. First thing you will notice is that switching between different settings on the sides of the gun gives off that multi-LED, a neat gimmick that I find welcoming, instead of just the regular toggle switch on most light guns. Now, the first thing I noticed, and it was entirely my fault, is that the gun seemed inaccurate. It would work fine in the gun adjustment screens on the PS1 and PS2 games, but when finally playing, the shots in the game were all over the place. And this is my fault, because I recently purchased these Sony Trinitron CRTs that still need their geometry fixed. So for what it's worth, the gun is indeed accurate. Watching this footage makes me look bad while playing. But now you know where the problem lies. Personally, I was never a fan of pushing in the side buttons to get out of cover in games like Time Crisis, and that's where it's possible to use that C button underneath the gun stock. The rumble function feels like a standard rumble motor that you would find in a PlayStation controller from that era, and personally, I turned it off, as it was more of a distraction than an experience I would enjoy. Switching between auto reload and auto fire actually did work when you compare it to most other light guns. It's a bit of a hit and miss with each game. In Vampire Knight, it registers it as something like a machine gun, and you can fire away while it automatically reloads. It takes the fun out of it for sure. But in Ninja Assault, it takes 2 whole seconds to spin that machine gun up when you're out of bullets. You'd have to figure out with each game what works best for you. The gun itself didn't give me wrist fatigue, as it's lightweight. Its weight distribution and used materials are in adequate proportions, but the trigger is a tad less squishy and felt like it might give you that fatigue if I would have played longer sessions. The D-pad looks and feels a bit clunky. It's there for its limited functionality, which is moving around slightly in shooter games that need it. And just be glad that you don't have to use it for a fighting game. The XK9 is a capable and sturdy light gun. It's polished well, but the looks might have to suit your specific sci-fi taste. I do recommend the XK9. I can see this gun taking a beating in the years to come, and its measurements, used materials, and weight are a plus for playing light gun games. If you are searching for a third-party PlayStation light gun and have the option to grab one of these for a low price, this is a good choice. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it informative and enjoyed it, tap that like button. Tapping the subscribe button is also appreciated. Doing so gives you a notification whenever I release a new video. Keep shooting screens on CRTs, and I'll see you on the next video.